Now, I never had any other career in my life apart from medicine. I thought that medicine was the only career that I could get myself into.
So you studied in China, and then now you are in the UK. How did you land here?
How did
Yeah.
I end here? And you know, China is a place where when you go, as a foreigner, there's no way you're going to be employed to work in the Chinese hospital or any institution in China.
But if, for instance, you're a fresh graduate and you want to practice in the UK, what are some of the processes that you go through in order to be accepted?
IMG means International Medical Graduate.
Okay.
When you come in, you don't have access to practice as a doctor. There is no way you can practice as a doctor. So you have to do a lot of things. You have to do research. You have to do a whole lot. It's not like an easy path.
Welcome to the King Obed podcast, your go-to podcast for personal growth, development, inspiration, and motivation. In today's episode, I have a special guest with me who is a medical practitioner in the UK and an entrepreneur and an author of a book called Success is Inevitable. He's a YouTuber as well and a motivational speaker. In today's episode, we will delve deeper into the subject of career development and success. And we are going to offer practical advice on finding purpose, managing your career path, building professional networks, and achieving success in one's chosen field. I know you are ready. I'm also ready. So let's get started and let's meet our guest, Dr. Felix Korsah. Doc, welcome to the King Obed podcast.
Thank you so much, King Obed. Thank you for welcoming and bringing me back to your platform. I do appreciate your time and the fact that you've invited me here today.
Yes, I know at the end of the day, my audience will also be glad and will also enjoy and have some key benefits that you are also going to share with us as well. Yes. So success is inevitable. How and why did you come up with this book?
That's very you're the first person asking me this question. You know, I wrote this book some years back. I think it's 2017 when I was doing my clinical internship in Ghana.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I had already started writing things down. So during the time in Ghana, I started putting things together. And with a friend of mine, we gathered and then published it in Ghana. So Success is Inevitable. It's based on the things I went through and the fact that in life, it's not black and white. But then if you're determined and persistent, if you discipline in yourself, irrespective of what happened, you'll be able to become a successful person or a successful man or a woman. So that is the main reason why I put the title, Success is Inevitable. Yeah.
Wow. Success is inevitable. Are you of the opinion, those who think that there are people who are just born to be successful?
I don't believe that. Every individual, we are equally the same human being with the same things that we have.
Okay.
But the difference between someone who is successful and someone who is not is the fact that that fellow put more work into whatever they were doing that made them successful. Some people are born with talent, but then they have to work towards it before the talent will manifest in their lives.
Yeah.
But I don't believe the idea that people were born successful. No, there's nothing like black and white where when you are born, automatically you are in a selective there's a selective group that you will be successful and others will not be successful. If you work hard and persistently work on yourself, you will definitely achieve your goals and get to where you want to get to.
Okay. That's great. Is practicing medicine or the dream that you have wanted to achieve?
Yeah, but that's a very interesting question. Now, I never had any other career in my life apart from medicine. I thought that medicine was the only career that I could get myself into and then get a job, get job easily when I'm able to complete everything.
Okay.
And one other reason was when I was a child, I think at around, let's say, 10 years old, my great grandfather had a loss of consciousness, meaning they went collapsed for a period
Mm-hmm.
of time.
Okay.
And in a village where I was born, there were no nurses or doctors to even see this old man. So after some few weeks, not even a month, he passed on. So I was very enthusiastic about being a medical doctor in order to save people and make sure that things like that doesn't happen to other people in regards to what happens to my great grandfather. So
Okay.
that is the main reason why I chose to be in the medical field in the first place. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a profession you had always wanted to pursue, regardless,
Irrespective of what happens. Yeah.
irrespective of whatever happens. So now you are practicing and you are in the UK. Can you share
Yes.
your personal journey with us, where you started from? Yes, that part of the village is there, but where did you start from? How did you catch the fire to this point? Because I know to go through that hurdle is not an easy task, but you've managed your way through up to this
Absolutely.
point.
Yeah, it's not an easy task at all. Yeah, you know where we're coming from. You understand where we are coming from,
Yeah.
especially coming from a village, not even a city or an urban community. You're coming from the typical village,
Mm-hmm.
where sometimes you don't even have access to electricity, and you have to go through. You use a small lamp to even study, to write your exams, and all these
Yeah.
things that happen. You know about that.
Yeah. Yes.
So I wouldn't say I was the most intelligent person in school. I'm an average person who decided that being a medical doctor is one of the things that I want to do. So
Yeah.
in doing that, in pursuing that, I needed to do more work. I needed to work hard to be in that profession. Now,
Mm-hmm.
asking me how I got to that it's a very long journey, but I'll briefly tell you. After secondary school, a whole lot of things happened, family issues. So, completed secondary school in 2012. Had to wait because of some family issues until 20. Sorry, it was 2006, and I have
Okay.
to wait till 2012 before I got
Oh,
to Accra Poly because of some family issues. Yeah, and
wow.
being in to have admission in medical school in Ghana, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
not.
It's really tough.
Yes, and you have to sometimes who you know and how your pass marks and all that
Yeah.
is considered. So I sat home for over 6 years
Oh,
trying to
wow.
get my yeah. So it's not a short journey. It's a very long journey. But like I said, if you want to achieve something and you made up your mind that that is what you want,
Mm-hmm.
irrespective of what happened, your determination will put you into that pathway. So
Okay.
my finally I was able to get to Accra Polytechnic. Accra Polytechnic, where I did a lab technician for the first year. Sometimes
Wow.
you have to do certificate, before you can even get to do the main lab technician 4 year course.
Mm-hmm.
So within that, I was planning to travel. I have to go through so many sourcing to get advantage of going outside
Yeah.
and practice medicine. It wasn't as easy. It wasn't an easy job. But it got to a point I had to drop out of school, even though I had not get a chance to travel to pursue medicine. But
Mm-hmm.
then I had got a visa to go to China and pursue medicine.
Medicine.
So let me tell you what happened. So I had the admission to do a full 4 year course in Accra Polytechnic. I just started my first year. And then within the first year, first semester, I dropped out, even though I had not had the chance to go to China yet because of
Yeah.
financial issues. You have to get your school fees. It's not scholarship. So you need to get things together before you can go outside and study. medicine, and I also working in a clinic as well as a lab
Okay.
technician. So, combining part-time schooling and working is
Uh,
something. It's really
yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
You close from work at 5, and you have to go to you have to go and do part-time from 5 to 9 p.m. So
Mhm.
it was a very terrifying moment, but then it didn't really bring my spirit down. I was enthusiastic about being a medical doctor. So I had opportunity. Thank God to my dad, he was able to provide for those fees and other stuff. So I had to travel to China, and that is where I started my medical studies. So I
Okay,
studied in
so
China.
from Accra Polytechnic to China, where
Yeah.
you went to do medicine. How many
Yes.
years did you study for the medicine?
So in China, the medical studies was 6 years.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. So I got there in the year, I think, was it, yeah, 2014, 2013, and then it was 6 years. It was 6 years course.
Okay. Okay. So you just didn't get straight into the medical school in Ghana, where people
No,
like
not at all.
right from secondary school they get straight into these universities to pursue their dream courses or their dream jobs as well. But you moved from Accra Polytechnic to China, and regardless, you didn't give up. You kept on moving to make sure that yes, you achieve your childhood dream. Yeah. So what advice do you or will you give to people who are struggling to find their purpose in their careers? For instance, you have been able to go through all this, and now you are the person you wanted to be all this while.
Yeah. Yeah, Obed, the thing is, the one thing I would like to say, one of the things that I would like to say that is very important is
Mhm.
uh, when you have a focus in life, when you're projected your goals towards something,
Yeah.
there might be challenges, and it's not might. There's definitely going to be challenges
Yeah,
coming
there
on
will
your
be
way.
challenges. Yeah.
A lot of them, financial challenges, health issues, family issues. Those are the things that are going to bombard you
Yeah.
to stop pursuing your goals. But if you're determined, irrespective of what happens, when you, I have, I have a I have a slogan that when you have something you want to pursue and you keep working towards that, there's definitely going to be a pathway open for you to go through.
Yeah, sure,
That is what
definitely.
happened. Yeah, that is what happened to me. So my mindset was going to study in abroad. Not, I
Mhm.
wasn't thinking about staying in Ghana. My peers were happily enjoying studies and living. I'm not saying it's bad to do that, but my perspective was to go outside.
Okay.
And the dream was to go outside and study and live and practice. So then I was working thoroughly towards that, and that made me who I am today. So it's perseverance, determination, and discipline. And one thing we all need to do is be patient towards anything at all that we want to do in life.
Okay. Okay. So these are some of the advices you want to give to people who might be struggling to find their purpose in their career. You need to be patient, you need to be focused, you need to identify yourself with actually what you want as an individual. Yeah, so you studied in China, and then now you are in the UK. How did you land here?
You see, these are some of the things that will happen to you when you have when you have made your mind that this is what you want. This is a very, very good question. How did
Yeah.
I end here? And you know, China is a place where when you go, as a foreigner, there's no way you're going to be employed to work in the Chinese hospital or any institution in China.
Okay.
And because one of the main reason is the language barrier, you can speak all right,
Mm-hmm.
you can understand some of the things that they say all right, but
Yeah.
then you expressing yourself in the medical terms or you being in the hospital is way different from you speaking the simplified Chinese language. So
Yes.
this helped me a lot. In 2020, I was doing my master's in cardiology, and the COVID outbreak. That was what made me come here. And my then fiance, who is my wife now, was living in London, in the UK. So I had come here before in March to see her, and then I went back and then went through processes to take another visa. I didn't even think about it. I was just, let me just go and apply for another visa, and maybe probably later on I might want to come back.
Yeah.
So when I got a visa, right after I got a visa, within some few months, the COVID outbreak surfaced itself in China and even around the world. So things were a bit scattered all over. So I had to stop the masters. It's more like the same thing that happened to me when I was in Ghana. I had to stop my my degree in biochemist and come in to come to China to study. The same thing happened. So I had to stop the specialty that I was involved in and come to London, come to the UK, sorry, because of the outbreak. And because people were moving around, all my colleagues were leaving the country to Ghana. They were going back to Ghana. And for me, the fortunate thing, I had a visa then, so I made use of the visa to come to the UK.
Okay.
Unfortunately for me, when I came, I was able to go through the paperwork pathway to stay over. So basically, that is the whole thing, what happened.
Okay. So for how long have you been practicing in the UK?
I've been practicing for about 2.5 years now.
Okay. So what are some of the take homes for now? What are some of the experiences as a practicing medical doctor? What are some of the things that you've picked so far?
Well, let me just say some of the things that happens here and doesn't happen in our country.
Yes.
In our country, Ghana. In Ghana, you might do something and get away with it as a doctor. In the UK, you will be sued and you might even lose your license to practice. Okay. So number one, you have to be very, very, very mindful and careful when you're taking care of a patient. So if you are someone coming from Ghana, you have the training in Ghana, you've done your housemanship in Ghana, you're coming here. Here is a different ball game altogether. You have to make sure to do the right thing at the right time, because you're going to be sued if you don't do the right thing. And you have to be very, very direct and accurate on certain things that you do for a patient, because if not, you'll be held responsible for so many things that will be mind-blowing to you if you don't take care. So basically, you have to be careful and make sure that you're doing the right thing. Go through, there are guidelines that every hospital uses when you are working with them. So you have to make sure you know those guidelines and apply them in everything that you do, especially in the medical field when you are working in the hospital. So that's my advice. But coming in, there's a whole things that you have to go through before you can even be registered as a doctor here in the UK.
Okay, so walk us through the process of you coming from China as a fresh graduate, or maybe you would have practiced maybe for a time in China. But if, for instance, you're a fresh graduate and you want to practice in the UK, what are some of the processes that you go through in order to be accepted or to get on board as a medical doctor? Very
good. So number one, first of all, when you come from any other country as IMG, IMG means International Medical Graduate. Okay. When you come in, you don't have access to practice as a doctor. There is no way you can practice as a doctor. You have to be doing, if I tell you what I was doing, having graduated, doing a bit of master's in specialty and coming to the hospital and working as a healthcare assistant. I mean, yes, they call us band 2, band 3. So you don't have access to anything. You are just being, what you have to do is just wash patient, change patient, check vitals of patients. So these are the things you'll be doing if you are in the medical field and you want
Yes.
to, yeah, you want to get yourself involved. And one of the things you can also become is a phlebotomist. But when I came, like someone who takes blood and all that. But when
Yeah.
I came in, I was very anxious because I had to go through paperwork. I needed a job as soon as possible.
Yes.
So I became a healthcare assistant for about a year.
Okay.
And so one thing you have to know is that when you come in, if you want to really get into the system, you need to write two exams. We call it PLAB 1 and PLAB 2. And you can
Okay.
do other alternative. You can write other exams and get into the system. But I went through the PLAB 1 and 2 pathway.
Mm-hmm.
So you sit for the exams, you pass 1 and 2, and then afterwards you go through the registration process. So you have to
Okay.
let them identify your documents. So there's a system you need to go through, submit all your certificates for them to authenticate that it is real you and nobody else. And before you can even start your registration to become a full licensed UK medical doctor. So after you've done with the authentication, you also submit the document to GMC. This is the
Ghana
General
Medical
Medical
Council.
Council,
Yeah, Ghana Medical Council.
where they'll go through all the documents that you've submitted. If they need something, it's a whole ball game, long process journey. But if you submit the right documents,
Documents.
it won't take long time for you to be get your license to practice, to get your license. Yeah.
Okay, so you need to sit for the PLAB 1 and 2 first
Yes.
before you when you've passed these two papers or these two sets of examinations, then before you can proceed to the registration. And then there's a collaboration between the General Medical Council and the registration
US.
body here.
Yeah. So there's a website, I think is UCFFC. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I've forgotten. But you have to for your document to be authenticated, you need to
Mm-hmm.
send it to them. So they'll
Okay.
authenticate it, and then they'll tell you it is done, and then it will automatically be submitted to GMC. So once GMC
Oh,
have received the authentication, then you can go to GMC website and start your application.
okay. Okay. Great. 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 So from hack to now a practicing medical
Yeah,
doctor
but
at one of the biggest, I think it's the biggest within this region, right?
yeah,
um
Hall Royal
Hall Royal
Infirmary.
Infirmary.
Yes,
Oh, great.
it was one of the
So
biggest. Yeah, and it's not just being a medical. This field every time you need to update yourself in so many things. So
okay.
at the moment, I'm a doctor, but I have to specialize in different categories. So after this, you have to go through training and then get into specialty before you can become a consultant. So it's a journey that it will take a while before the consultancy will come in. So basically, that is how it is here in the UK.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you are practicing. You have also another more or less like goal to become a consultant at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how important is it for me as an individual or anybody watching or listening to us to align your career path, right, with your personal values and the passions you have? Because there are people who have different passion, and then their values do not correlate as an individual. How important is it for us to align so that we can have a successful career?
Very, very good question. Yeah. So one thing about me is that I'm really disciplined, and it's very important to be disciplined, and you have to
Okay.
set your core values. What is your core values? What exactly do you intend to achieve in a specific period of time, in a year, in a month? What are you planning to achieve? And some of the things that we do as human beings can really prevent us from doing certain things that we do. Normal daily things can really prevent us from achieving our goals or getting to where we want to get to. For instance, I'm a type that I don't like to go out too often because I know my time is very valuable to me. I need to do certain things at at a specific time. And there are certain people who likes to go out all the time, night clubbing and doing a whole lot of things. And then they spend less time in achieving what they intend to achieve, less time in achieving their goals, less time in implementing the core values into their lives. So these are the things. I wouldn't go out there every night, or I wouldn't go stay outside and spend all the time doing nothing. The only thing I do outside for long is staying at the gym and trying to exercise. These are one of the things I do. But apart from that, what I'm always studying. You know what happens if you are not studying? You are doing YouTube video. You are working, so you don't have time to be going around and messing things out and all that. So if you are in my advice to those people who have vision, who want to achieve something great, is to be very disciplined and have a set goal. It can be 1 month goal. I want to do this in a specific month or in specific days. If you're able to achieve that, that will guarantee you to the next level. But if you're the type you don't want to sacrifice and do the right thing, you rather want to enjoy life than to work on yourself to achieve something great. And I'm sorry, you cannot be able to do that. So you need to have a vision and you need to work towards it. If you don't have a vision, you don't have a goal, it's very unlikely someone will be able to achieve their goals. Okay. So you have to know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So with respect to achieving your goals that you keep, repeating, what are some of the strategies that you think that has helped you to be able to set and achieve clear goals or career goals?
Good. That's a very good question. Yeah, that you're asking me really good, and I think your audience will really will benefit from these questions that you're asking. Now, goals setting can be waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes, and the advantage you have against someone who wakes up at 8 a.m. is number one. When you wake up early in the morning, you are able to exercise your mind, can do yoga, you can read in a specific short period of time, you can prepare towards the day. Your preparedness towards the day is fully achieved because you woke up at 5 a.m. Unlike someone who woke up at 8 a.m., there's a vast difference. You have 3 hours differences for you to prepare towards the day. So that is number one. So when you wake up at 5 a.m., you'll be able to achieve certain things that you were not able to do yesterday. So that is number one of the things that you can do when you wake up early in the morning. Number two, making sure that you don't spend time on unnecessary stuff, unnecessary things that will not benefit you as a human being. Like I said earlier on, if you spend more time in doing certain things like going out and enjoying being with friends and just talking and not doing anything important, there's no way you'll be able to achieve your goals. Research have found out that over 95% of people who have New Year resolutions do not achieve them after January. They just drop them. So these are the things that happen to people. They just set a goal, long resolution goals to achieve in a year, and then after a month, they just leave it because they are not consistent enough. That is what happened to a lot of people, and people are not able to achieve and develop themselves when it comes to their career and success.
Okay. So for you are a goal setter and you are a goal getter. When you set it, you must make sure you get them. There are people who also think that regardless of you setting goals, still in between there will be certain kind of challenges that we all have to deal with. How do you like strive to overcome those challenges as a medical practitioner combining with an entrepreneurial mind, motivating people into this production of YouTube videos and stuff? How are you able to combine all these stuff?
Good question. You see, that's one of the things that you have to know. Everybody say we all have 24 hours to live in a day, and the best things that I usually do is partition. I'll say partition, or I'll say make sure to set various time what I should be doing in a specific period, especially if I'm doing night shift. I know that the whole day up to around 8 I will be free. So then I'll use that whole from 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. when I wake up to 8 p.m. when I have to go to work, to do what I will not be able to do the next day, because when I come back from work I have to rest and also wake up and go to another night shift. So it's all about setting your time and what you should be doing in that specific time. If you are the type, you have your rota at work, they give you what you are supposed to do. If you're working 9 to 5 p.m., you have so much time to do different things. You have so much time. I'm not saying you can't go out and enjoy life. It's not normal. You have to enjoy life. You have to sometimes face challenges, and you have to sit back and relax and make sure that things go by or things go past whatever happens to you. So it's human nature that we will go through challenges. We go through some difficult times. We might even fail in certain things that we do. But then the core importance of how we can go through every challenges or every failures and still achieve our goals is by perseverance and constantly working towards whatever we are doing to achieve whatever we want to achieve. So it's going to bombard you with difficult times. That is life. But then you have to be able to come out of it. If you are the type who have gone through a lot of challenges in life, like myself, the place I came from, what are the things that I've gone through to be where I am. When I encounter challenges, I'll be able to stand, even though it's going to be difficult, but I know I've gone through more difficult times than what I'll be going through. So I have the capacity to withstand those challenges and fight my way out of it.
Okay, so you are very resilient in everything, and regardless of the situation, you always have strategies to overcome them as an individual and also a medical practitioner.
Oh, but I'm not to cut you off. There are certain circumstances, or there are certain times that things will hit you so hard that even if you're resilient about anything, you cannot move on. You need to sit back and sometimes let things cool down before you can go ahead. So it's not always going to be, I'm resilient, I'm going to go through it. It's going to hit you. Life is really going to hit you at some point. But then you have to get out from that. Some people, when life hits them, they are not able to get out. That is the problem that a lot of people are going through.
Okay. So So in choosing a career or in choosing a profession, is it a matter of passion, or we should look at the money? The cash component of the profession or the cash component of the career. Should we look at that, or like something you are truly passionate about? Which one should be considered, or which one should we consider first?
Well, I would not say the money it's the most important thing in these circumstances. The reason why I'm saying that someone can be act, maybe can just draw. That's the passion, and that person can earn a lot of money if they are really committed into doing that. Remember football those days, where when you are playing football those days in our country, your parent will be hunting you down, telling you have to go to school. That is not a profession. But now football, people are earning millions and millions of dollars and pounds. So it's not about the money, it's about the passion and the fact that you are really interested in doing that and helping people. And now, once you have that mindset, the money will just come in at the end of the day.
Okay, so you need the passion to carry on, and when you've used the passion to a point, you'll be able to establish yourself in the career or the profession where you find yourself, and then
It's
that way the money or the cash component of it will come to you.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah. So it's in our daily lives we encounter opportunities, we get hold of opportunities, and then sometimes we blow them away, sometimes we try to utilize them and stuff. But how can professionals like yourself, myself, how can we identify and seize opportunities for career advancement? Because I know that there are a lot of opportunities in this medical profession that you're talking about. If, for instance, I find myself in this space, how can I seize those moments or those opportunities and then capitalize on them?
That is why networking is very important in career
Okay.
development. So,
Okay.
when you find yourself in a situation where, especially after school, you need to link with people, you need to be a little bit extrovert. I myself, I'm a more of introvert. I don't like to talk too much, but sometimes
Yeah.
you need to be extrovert. You need to involve yourself, talk to people, especially your teachers, your professors. You need to get some guidelines on what to do, because sometimes it's very, very challenging to know your pathway. And the only thing that you can do is to speak to people who have already been into that category of life. So, for instance, if I don't know something in the medical field, I have a lot of people that I can speak to. I can speak to a consultant. I can speak to a registrar. Even my colleagues, they have the ability to help me out because they are always updating. And you need to update yourself as well. So,
That's what.
because nowadays internet is very visible to every individual in this world. So,
Yes.
looking online and searching for things, I think, is one of the best way to get opportunity to travel or to come from the underdeveloped country to come in the developed countries such as UK and the US to practice or to do your masters or to even study. So there are a couple of options open out there if people want to really continue or develop their career, but you need to network. You need to have people around that you can speak to, and that will give you the gateway for you to be in places where you want to be in life. Yeah.
Okay. So talking about networking and everything, and so in this space, what is sometimes the role of professional network in our career development? Like you saying, we need to be connected to people and stuff. So how does it help us in our career growth or path?
Well, that is it. You know, when you have network, when you have people that you can speak to,
Mhm.
and when you have maybe someone who has already been to your path, the pathway to where you want to be, I think one of the most important thing is you get advice from
Okay.
people. Those
Okay.
people, they will advise you, they'll guide you, things that you need to do. So for me, when I was registering with GMC, I needed to get people involved, people who were already registered from as a IMG graduate who were coming in to work as as doctors. I
Okay.
needed to speak to people, went online, trying to find out the processes, the documents that I need to submit to GMC, how to go about the registration. Because if you miss anything with the registration, you can be delayed for over a year.
Wow.
Yeah, that is so you have to look out for anything that might cause you to or prolong your registration. So you
Okay.
need to speak to people, go online, take advice from people that are in your field that are achieving great things. You need to have and you have to have someone who will mentor you. It's very important. You have to look out for someone who you think in your career will help you achieve your dreams and where you want to get to. So mentorship is also one of the key points that every individual must or should have in order for them to achieve their dreams or to become successful in their career. Yeah. The thing is, the disadvantage is in our case where we are coming from, those things does not happen. In Ghana, it's very difficult to have a mentorship. The person who is supposed to help you out will not be able to do it. They will just be delaying you and not having a chance to help you. But here, the opportunity here is great, is very much high, because you'll be able to speak to a consultant who is in a specific specialty, who can guide you. It's easy. You don't have to go through any processes. Unlike Ghana, people want you to pay money and all that before you can have access to someone to speak to. So if you are living in the UK and you're working in any institution, especially in my institution, the medical field, it's easy to go through a consultant and ask questions and have a mentor who will guide you to achieve your goals, and your dreams.
Okay, so do you have a personal mentor or a coach or somebody guiding you through the processes on everything? Maybe somebody daily or weekly or quarterly you speak to for more or less like a review and assessment? And do you have somebody like that?
Well, when it comes to the medical field, you have a supervisor. For me, you have a supervisor that you build your portfolio. You have something we call portfolio, medical portfolio, that they will guide you to build your portfolio when you're getting into training. So yes, there's a supervisor who can guide you, that you have a day-to-day conversation, and they will teach you what you have to do. You talk to them about your problems and how you're facing what is happening in the medical, in the hospital, the challenges you're going through. You can have those conversations with them, with your supervisor, which is a good thing. And when it comes to the outside world, like businesses, like building your own business and motivating yourself, there are a couple of things online. You have to get specific people who are motivational speakers. Tony Robbins, on those people will you'll be able to watch their videos, their motivational videos. That's what I do every day, Obed. When I go to the gym, the only thing I listen to, the only time I have is go to the gym without having to do medical stuff. And that is why I listen to all the motivational stuff. And sometimes when I wake up early in the morning, the first thing I do is just watch those motivational stuff and read some books that are motivational. So these are the things that have a very significant input in my life. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Talking about motivation, people think that those things more or less, depending on where you stand or where you're coming from, people think those things more or less are not so crucial or so important, because they think, they are, and it gets to that point where people even make fun or mockery of, these motivational speakers that they don't even know what they are saying. Yeah, but if you know where you are going, you'll be able to know which people you align yourself to. And that is one thing I've learned, because if you don't know where you want to be, you think that whatever someone is doing might seem not so necessary or important to you.
Exactly.
And because we all have different paths or different ways or different destinations that we are going. And so it's very important when you listen to some of these things to keep you going as an individual. Yes. So at what point will you say, with regards to your profession, at what point will you say maybe you've achieved success in this path or in this professional career, or at what point will you say you are successful in this career or profession?
I think I'll make it sequential, because number one, the first success that I achieved was moving from Ghana to China. That is number one. Number two, another success I achieved was when I graduated from medical school and got my certificate as a medical doctor. And number three, coming to the UK and working myself through all the exams and all the processes to get the license to practice as a doctor is also another successful thing that I've been able to achieve. And the next one is to get to the level where you'll be consultant, isn't it? So, so that is another point that we need to, so I have to work towards achieving that. So being a consultant, there's a journey. It's a long journey. You have to go through it before, and that is what I'm about to embark on to achieve. When it comes to business wise, I've been able to open a business and also start an online shipping, drop shipping, and being a motivational. Been able to create a YouTube account and make videos, and it's going out well. A lot of people have good amount of subscribers, which I didn't start a long time ago, but I've been able to get a number of people to subscribe to my channel. So it's a matter of say patience and being consistent in what you're doing and working towards whatever you intend to achieve in life. So basically, I would say I've achieved majority of the things, but then the next thing is to be a consultant.
And how long is it going to take you for you to become a consultant in the UK?
That's a lot. In the UK, it can take me up to 7 to 8 years.
Okay. So do you have a specific, more like a specific area where you want to specialize? Like initially you were mentioning cardiologists or those.
Good, Obed, you when you get up like that, you know where you want to be. I want to be a cardiologist. I want to be a gastroenterologist. I want to be a general surgeon. It's something you can speak out, but then to go into it, that journey, it's something that I need to think about it. Initially, like I said, I even went into to do my master's in cardiology when I was in China. But then my mind is still swinging a bit. I'm not particularly sure at the moment. And it's happening to a lot of people in the medical field. You will not be able to identify, especially when you get into the system, when you are practicing as a doctor and you want to choose a specific specialty or a field. It's kind of a bit of difficult to know where you're going. But once you are done with being a registrar, that is when you do the training and then you come out as a registrar, and then you'll be able to know, because then you'll be going to different department. So you'll be able to know that which department interests you a lot, and then you can go into it. But initially I was thinking of cardiologists. Now I've not changed my mind yet, but I'm still looking at other alternatives. But yeah.
Okay, so you need to more or less be trained for a number of 7 years before you can be called a consultant or qualified to be a consultant.
And then in the process, you have to do a lot of things. You have to do research. You have to do a whole lot. It's not like an easy pathway. But then, like I said, if you're determined to do something, whether easy or not easy, you still have to go through it. So yeah, being a consultant is the highest level in medicine here in the UK, and you have to go through about 7 to 8 years, depending on the specialty. If you are going into cardiology or cardiothoracic surgeon, or if you want to become a general surgeon, or most of the cuttings specialties, it will take a while, up to 10-12 years. But it's a matter of time.
Okay, are there so many consultants in your setting, in where you find yourself currently? Are there so many consultants?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay,
you have a lot of consultants, different departmental specialties, and I've worked with a lot of them: cardiologists, cardiothoracic, and they are all some of them are more like we from Ghana, Nigeria, and other countries. So it's even motivates you to work harder, because you see your colleague being a consultant and conducting the event of the day in the hospital. So it's a bit of positivity.
In your line of work, what one challenge have you encountered that made you think like, why did I choose this profession? And how did you overcome that setback or that challenge?
A couple of times. Especially when there is a strike day. Recently, there was a strike day, and I was meant to work the whole tower block. So I
Okay.
was holding the blip. We call it a blip. That means you are holding the blip for a specific wards.
Yes.
And it's the whole tower block. And imagine holding the blip for the whole tower block. The blips, the calling, and you wouldn't have the time to even rest at night. So sometimes I sit down, why didn't I even go into business or just do my own stuff and come here? You won't even have an hour's nap at
Yeah.
all.
Yes.
You would just be calling and you'll be going up and down. You 12th, 13th floor. You have to go up and down, seeing patients, making sure that things are kept in place because there were no doctors at hand to work with. So sometimes these are the period of time that you think that probably another alternative will help. You can go to work and you instead of ending at 5 p.m. you can end up your shift will end at maybe 7 8 p.m. because
Okay.
you're still not done with patients, and others are going out there enjoying life, partying and all that. You wouldn't have the chance to do it. And our shifts or rota is made in such a way that it's so difficult to get an off day or even a leave so it's a very challenging profession, but an interesting one. For me, I really enjoy the job a lot. So that's the thing. That's the one thing that is moving or pursuing me to do more because I love the job.
Oh, that's because it has been your childhood dream, and then you are living the dream.
Exactly. So, the one of the nicest things that you as a doctor when you're working in the hospital is when you've really explained certain things. One time I explained a disease to a patient and the wife, and they were so happy because that was the first time any doctor has explained things to them like the way I did, and they were
Yeah.
so happy. That really made my day because I was able to make that specific patient comfortable and understandable to their condition and how they can go about it. So it's a very interesting, challenging job, but like I said, if you love something, irrespective of how challenging it is, you still want to do it. Yeah.
Okay. So how are you able to more or less let's say manage the demands of this high pressure job and also maintaining a healthy work life balance? How are you able to do this stuff because of the pressures? And which do you prefer? Do you prefer night to day work or night to night to day shift? Which one do you prefer?
Well, I don't know. Day shift is better, but night is it's also good in a sense that if you want to get more money, you do night shift, isn't it? So
Oh, okay.
not
Okay. That's what the trick
so
is.
not a lot of people will do night. So in
Night
that
shift.
case, when they're giving you night shift, it means you have to increase your salary in regards to that.
Okay.
And balancing my job to and the pressures around it, let me tell you, going through all the night shift and carrying bleep for the whole tower floor.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, when the shift ends, I have to pass through the gym, spend 1.5 hours, come home, rest for like 3 hours, wake up, do some stuff, and then go back to night shift. So that's what I'm saying. Not all people, or not all of us will do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can go to the gym throughout the week, even though if I'm doing night shifts.
Wow.
It's because of the mentality I have and the kind of discipline I've set my mind to
Oh, yeah.
follow and focus on. That is what is hard, really helping me. And the things that I've gone through as well, it's really energizing me to do more than less. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Wow. So you are able to rightly balance your work life and then to along with the pressures that comes with this highly demanding job as well. And you're also able to take care of yourself
and my family, and I have wife and kid
yeah.
as well, you know. So
Mhm.
sometimes people will give you excuses of why they are not able to do certain things. But you understand?
Yes.
Back in our country, a lot of people will say the economy is not good, the government is not good. It's
Yeah.
about the mindset and the things that you. There are a lot of people farming right now who are earning a lot of money.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
people don't want to do that. Even cleaning, people don't want to do cleaning. When you come here, a lot of people are cleaning and washing plates and all that, but they are earning money, isn't it? But
But
then
they'll
back
make the
home,
argument. They'll make the argument back home that when you equate what they are getting there and here, they are not the same, and the difference is so huge that ordinarily anybody who will come from the other side will just hop onto this because they believe that this is some kind of good money.
yeah, but bear in mind that the living standard here is also extremely high. So it's really, really that the only important thing that I would say in this country is that
Mhm.
if you have your paperwork and everything in place,
Yeah.
the accessibility to financial um, help is really, really easy. Unlike
Yes.
in Ghana, you have to if you have to go through a very long process to even get a loan of even 1,000 Ghana cedi.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that is what is making here interesting to live and very comfortable. Not really comfortable, but easier pathway to financial stability. But the things, the bills, the things that we do here are very much expensive compared to back home in Ghana. So yeah, there are positivity side and negativity side. Comfortability, yes, compared to back home, but there are certain things that are very challenging to go through here in the UK. You will not have you will not be able to have sunlight for a month. But back home, the weather is so cool. You can go to the beach at any time you want, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
But we are always working here in the UK because of bills and so many expensive stuff to do. Yeah.
They will tell you if here is hard, come home and let's enjoy. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but anyways, it's all, yeah, it's true because the system. I think the system in our country is not helping. That's the only thing
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
helping at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if someone is watching us or listening to us, a young guy or a young lady who wants to go into medical school or has a dream of becoming a medical doctor like yourself, what is that single advice or advices that you're going to give to that person?
So one single advice I'll give is
Or
to,
advices? It could be one, it could
yeah.
be
So the
many.
number
Yeah.
one important thing is just to follow your dream.
Okay.
If medicine is what you want, you really what you intend to do,
Mhm.
follow that dream. You might go through so many channels, just like me. I had to go through so many channels before
Yes.
I got to the medical school. It took me so long to get into medical school. The same thing can happen, and who knows? You know, luck is not just luck. If you persistently work on yourself and work harder, but with more sensible ideas and values,
Mhm.
luck will come to you. But luck doesn't just come to people who just want luck. It comes to people who work harder and have values to help them achieve their goals and career in life. So,
Okay.
being consistent, being disciplined, being patient are some of the aforementioned factors that will help each and every individual to attain their goals and be free from any difficult times or any inconvenient circumstances in life.
Okay. So if I am a young guy and I clearly do not know the path I want to chart, how do I overcome this challenge?
That's a very, very challenging question. If you
Yes.
don't know, if you don't know your path, go back to. Well, I would say the person should go back to their childhood. You know, in childhood, there are certain things that we might be interested in doing most of the time.
Yes.
And these are the things that we can go back to our childhood and what was I really good at doing when I was a child? And I think this will really help that person to know exactly what they want.
Okay,
And
so
the fact that when they are doing that specific thing, they find more passion about it. When they are drawing, they find they are more passionate about drawing. When they are
yeah.
playing soccer, or when they are chatting with people, they find it more passionate about it. They should go and be a speaker on. Nowadays, when you go on YouTube, you can just do certain things. So these are the things that can help you identify how best you can to discover your passion, or what your main objectives in this world is. Yeah.
But I've also come to realize that there are people whose more or less gift or the talent, actual talent in them, do not align with more or less the career they find themselves in or the profession they've gone to learn.
Exactly.
How can they come to a meeting point if, for instance, I find myself in a career which inside of me, that is not what I am carved for? How do I blend the two to make sure that they are all joining hands together, or to just correct each other?
Obed, I'll say, and the audience have to know that life is very tough, and at some point you get to a stopping point where you don't know where to go,
Yeah.
and it's going to happen to every individual in life. But then you have to. Sometimes you need to sit back and then really have a thought of what really you want in life. And it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's so easy to be able to identify, yes, I want to do this and go directly. You go to Ghana, a lot of people are doing sociology in the university, but that's not what they want to do, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Some of them do sciences in the university, and they work in the bank. So it's a more of divergent pathway. You have to go through channels. It's not
Okay.
going to be a straightforward.
Yeah.
So that is why a lot of people are not able to tolerate that, because it's so difficult for them to head up to where they want to be, because they cannot stand the challenges, they cannot stand the failures, they cannot stand the setback. So once they have the setback, they give up so easily, and that's not how an individual who wants to achieve great things in life is supposed to be. You need to fight and fight so well for you to be able to achieve and overcome all the circumstances ahead of you. A lot of people never, I say less amount of people never went to school. But if you don't go to school back home in our country, it's so difficult for you to achieve your goals or become financially independent. Unlike here, because of the things around, it's so easy to find yourself in a way to achieve or to gain your profession and become successful. But like I said, it all depends on your mindset and how you can bounce back from the difficult times when you find yourself in that circumstances. So you just have to wear it off and move ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's great. So, how important is, in professional life, we have something called continuous professional development. How important is that in achieving career success?
Continuous development is extremely important. It is, because I could have stayed in that Accra Polytechnic. I could have just become a biochemist, and then I'll be there just like that,
Yes. Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes.
But then, because of continuous learning and trying to get to the next level, a lot of people have degrees nowadays. And it's not competitive. So if you have a degree, you just have to go and do your masters, because the professional line is full of degree holders. And for you to advance to the next level, you have to do a master's. And even now, you have to do a PhD as well to become a doctorate. So
Yes.
every time, like I said in my initial speech, it's a sequential journey that you need to go through, and continuous learning will fetch you the most amazing career in life. You can't just stay in one position for the rest of your life. Someone who, in Ghana, they have the soldiers who are just employed to train the normal soldiers who have been pick up to become soldiers. And sometimes those soldiers can come to have a rank more than the one who was even training them. So because they are not able to move up, you see. So in life, you need to get to the next level, or else someone else will bypass you and you'll be stranded and be complaining and be saying that, I'm doing all I can, but I've not been promoted. It's because you don't have the skills, the kind of skills or career demand that the job and trust in. So yeah, we need to continuously learn. I cannot stay where I am, because I'll be where I am and I'll see my colleague being a consultant, I'll see be a senior house officer, because I'm not improving in anything. So I need to go into training. I need to become a consultant as well, and I need to do more things to become some people are called professors in medicine.
Yeah.
So that is how the world is going at nowadays, and AI coming in. I think we have a lot of things to learn.
Okay. So what are some of the resources or methods that you as an individual you use to stay updated in your field or in your career?
Good. So in medicine, they have so many networking stuff, materials that we get ourselves updated with. Some of the things, even in the hospital, you can get the guidelines. New guidelines come out. You can read them, and then you'll be able to know what is the next step. Sometimes there are medications that has been stopped, and you need to update yourself with when you go to the internet. We have medical platforms where you can have access to that. And there's one we call British Medical Association. When you join them, they'll be sending you magazines every month, and those magazines includes most of the research findings and some of the things that you need to update yourself with. So there are a couple of things out there that really helps us to update ourselves when it comes to the medical aspect of things. But then when it comes to the business and motivational and other normal daily stuff, it's just online, internet, and also books, because I like to read a lot. So, and I like to write as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in this fast-paced world, you were mentioning AI. And you see, the world is evolving. The professional field is evolving. Whatever we are doing with time is evolving or has evolved. How can we stay relevant, or how can professionals stay relevant and still be competitive in a world that is rapidly changing?
Exactly. And the only thing that we can do is to change with it, with what is changing. We need to update ourselves, number one. And we need to make use of information a lot, because those are the places we can get the things going on. And we need to learn a lot. Read
Okay.
books, because there are a couple of books out there that will help you, even if you are not a businessman or if you are not an entrepreneur. When you read those books, you become an entrepreneur, you become a businessman or a
Yes.
businesswoman. So we need to always look and search for things that will help us progress and be different and be above a certain level with other people, So research, getting information, asking questions, these are the things which will really give us advantage over those people who do not really update themselves. Yeah.
Okay. Is social media really affecting us positively or negatively with regards to our professional life, our career, the career path that we are charting? Is it really having a toll or an effect on us?
Well, social media can give us it having, I would say, positive and negative effect. And the positive side is that we are easily able to access information, relevant information via social media um, platforms. Negatively, it's about what is going on, the negative parts, especially to our coming children, and even we as a whole, we are still having to see so many negativity going around viral, and it's sometimes affect a lot of people. But like I said, the only thing that you want to achieve is positivity. So when the social media, when those bombardment of negative things come away, I think you can just look through it and then look for the most of the positive side. They are impacting at both negatively and positively. So you have to be mindful of the information that you get, the information that you look for. Exactly. So, and it's very helpful as well to us. Even though it's negatively playing a role in a lot of people's life, but it's also having a positive role in our lives as well, especially those of us who want to get things done and done in the proper way. So I think they are the bad side and then the good side, and they are all relevant in our system. Yeah.
In your line of work, have you been challenged by a patient contrary to what you have said, and more or less he or she challenges that this might not be true?
Of course. All the time.
All the time.
They one of the things that is the way internet is doing in our
Yeah, that is why I'm taking it from, you see, because I've seen that when people are coming, they sometimes they search their conditions or whatever. So before the person comes before you, he or she has read different angles. And so if you are a practitioner and you are not abreast with styles, you get to that point where you might say something which is contradictory to what the patient has read.
Exactly, and you're not wrong at all. It's the truth. They'll come in, you tell them this is the condition. They'll tell you, but doctor, when I look online, it says this and that. There was a patient. there was a patient, and some of the patients, when they come in, they've already done the research. They'll come and they'll insist on doing specific tests.
Yes.
Even though it's contraindicated, even though it's contradicting the
Yes.
whole scenario of their presentation, they will still insist that, doctor, I need you to do this test for me. And in this country, it's relevant. In patients, their number one priority, irrespective of who you are. When a patient comes in, unless of course, what they are requesting is nowhere near their diagnosis. But then they'll come in and they'll be telling you internet stuff, and you have read books. Your mind on the internet is way far from what you know in the book.
Yes.
So when you, as a doctor, you need to get yourself involved in two things: internet, information, media, and also in the medical books, so that you can be able to combine the two and explain vividly to the patients what you want to do, what you're going to do, and what they will benefit from what you're going to do. So in the hospital, you have to let the patient explain everything from the beginning to the end. Okay. Let the patient know what is going on, what you're going to do. And then when they have more confidence in you as a doctor, whatever you tell them, they will do it. That's why it's very important to be knowledgeable and make sure that you have things on your fingertips.
Okay. Because they are what I'll call in quotes stubborn clients or stubborn, patients who insist particularly on something to be done, knowing very well they might have even have some maybe friends who are doctors or something. And then
they'll tell you that's what they said. Yeah.
Yes, they would have consulted them even before coming in.
So and even some of them, when they consult their colleagues, their children, whatever, people they have in the medical profession. They even call them and then to let you speak to them. And then they'll insist for you to do certain tests that you have to do. So it's very challenging in the field of work that we are in now. But yeah, so basically that's what happens when it happens like that. You just have to be
Okay.
knowledgeable.
Okay. Okay. What are some of your hobbies and that keeps you going and everything when you are not actively working aside the gym? What are some of the hobbies that you do?
So, one of the things that I really love to do is to read because as an author, you always want to, you yourself, you know what it is. And congratulations, I didn't get a chance to congratulate you on your book. It's
Yeah,
really,
thank
I
you,
need,
thank
I
you.
need to request for one as soon as possible. Now,
Yes.
you always have to update yourself. You need to read. And when I wake up, sometimes I can wake up at 3 a.m. and then do all my things, read, do some quiet time, exercise. If I have to run, I go out there and run at 3 a.m. and on. And uh, so my off time from work, it's more of reading, and you wouldn't have time because there are a couple of things. Being being in the medical field, you need to write exams every sequential journey that you find yourself. So getting into training, after the training, you have to write an exams. So you're always preparing yourself because you don't have time.
Okay.
So if I'm not at the gym, I'll be working on my business because it's not easy, Obed. To be to have a good career and be financially free. You can have a good career and still be broke. That
Okay.
is that is
Ye-
that is
Yes.
real, and
Yes. Yes.
it
Yes.
is something a
Yes.
lot of people are going through, and I want to avoid that. So you have to spend time. That is why time is very important. You can lose all your money and get it back, but 1 hour of your time, you can't get it back when you lose it. So I have to read and also do a whole lot of business work, do the YouTube stuff, do my own editing. So my time is always being used for something else, and it's
Okay.
relevant. Yeah.
That is great. That is great. So when you see people achieve what you have achieved, a lot has gone in.
Yeah.
And I think one great
Very
one says
much.
that whilst people sleep or whatever it is, people are also there working, doing all the things that
Tirelessly.
they
Yeah.
have to do and then push forward. So everything is achievable. Everything is achievable. Like you have written, success is inevitable and success is predictable by the things you do each and every day. Right. So it says that people do not, kind of say this is what they want to do. You define your habits and your habits take you there. So the everyday
Exactly.
habits that you do each and every day will take you to your destination. So it's been an insightful, practical conversation, giving us all the tips, your life story, and then advising people on how to rope themselves into the proper professional job and career path as well. Yes, we need to be successful, and that is why we also need to learn from people who are there or who are up there or who are on the success journey. So, Doc, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for sharing your insights, your knowledge with us. Any final words to the listeners, to the viewers, and to
Yeah. So,
anyone? To anyone.
yeah, and I also want to thank you so much, Obed. You're really doing a very, very wonderful job in the particular
Thank
uh,
you.
world that we are living in. It's a lot of things going on, and people are really not getting the exact information to help them build their career and profession. I think
Yes.
what you're doing is really, really good because you're guiding people, you are telling people the things that you are interviewing people who have ideas, who have practically been in the situation where
Yes.
others can go through and be successful. So I really much appreciate your time and giving me the opportunity to talk to you at this point. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity. And to the viewers out there, Tony Robbins says something that there's nothing like safe and security. If you want to be safe, you have to go to prison, because prison you have a security man and and they are walled all around, so you can be secured in that place. But then
Yes.
if you want to achieve something great, you need to fight for what you deserve, and that is what we are all intending to achieve. So basically, you need to fight hard because it's not going to be easy. Yeah.
Awaken the giant in you.
Awaken the giant in you. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
one of his books.
Yeah, that 500 pages or whatever.
Yes, it's yes.
I couldn't stop reading. When I started reading it, I finished it within a week, because
Oh,
it was
really?
it was very, very intriguing and very interesting book. Yeah.
Wow. Where can we connect? Where can we connect? Because I know you are an entrepreneur, you have online businesses, you are YouTuber, you are motivational speaker. Where can we connect with you? If we want to find you, where can we find you?
So social media handle wise, you can get in touch with me on Instagram and Facebook. So Instagram, when you go to what name am I using? The Future Millionaires channels. The Future Millionaires channel. You can get me on Instagram with my platform, and also Facebook. When you go to Felix Korsah, I think I've not really used Facebook that often, but then you can get me from there. And also you can send me an email, felixcourse@gmail.com. And then, so whatever it is that you want to ask. And also you can subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, we need to
The Future
subscribe.
Millionaires.
I just subscribed to it, so
Oh, thank you so much.
we are ready. We are ready for all the updates. I think there has to be a time where we need to just sit and talk about money.
Yeah.
Because everything we do revolves around it.
It involves money, and the only thing that can sort things out is money.
Yeah.
I know there are certain things that can sort things out, but money is one of the things that you can sort out.
Yes. So I think that all in all, it's been a very good and great conversation, and thank you for your time.
And thank you so much for your time as
coming
well.
on board.
So, we'll get involved in a lot of podcasts in the coming months and days. So
sure.
Yeah.
My regards to the family and everything. Yeah. So viewers, listeners, thank you for staying on to the King Obed podcast. This has been a very insightful episode, and we went through into the issue of career progression. How you can identify yourself with a particular career or profession and how you can be successful in it. I know you've learned a lot, and so take time to subscribe, take time to follow the King Obed podcast on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify, and all social media platforms, and let us be engaged. And you can leave your reviews and everything, and we will be in touch for us to be on the path of success. So until the next episode, stay energized and strive to continue to be the better person that you aspire to be. Bye-bye.
Bye.